What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
playing the button versus the low jack in the PeakGTO drill, specifically in the trainer in a predefined drill. All right, I'm up. Low jack raises 3.8, ace 8 suited. This is a continue. I think it's going to mostly call, might have a little bit of raising, and when it raises to 10. So here's our call, 45% call, 55% raise. All right, I can live with that mistake. He checks to us. We have gut shot, overcard stuff, no, nothing there. I don't think we need to bet this. We have ace high. We could sometimes win. Check 48, and when it bets small. So that's fine. Turn, he bets. I can absolutely call one bet, but do I want to call a big bet with a gut shot and the diamonds out there? I think I don't. I think I want to play like just a nit and just fold and not draw to 3 outs when I'm sometimes, almost never, drawing dead. I'm just gonna fold.
Yeah, feels like
Yeah,
a
fold, and it does mostly calls. All right.
50% calling. That means was the rest of it folding? There was no
Yeah,
raising, right?
no raising. Call and
Yeah.
fold. Call and fold. All right, you're up, Mike.
All righty. Ace 10 off. This just feels like just a pure fold.
Pure fold. Yeah, we're gonna our threshold is ace jack, and ace jack mixes with
With a
raises and fold
sliver of three betting, right? Ace jack
sliver. But we're gonna three bet it 100%, even though the
versus
chart,
population.
even though the chart says to three bet it 20% and fold 80%, we're gonna three bet it 100% and take the hit in our peak GTO score and hopefully increase our bankroll. All right, skate.
Yep.
You got king queen suited on the button. The low jack raised you.
Okay. I think we do have some blogger properties. I know we're gonna call. I'm just not sure if we're gonna do any raising. I would say okay. I would say maybe some slivers, small
Okay,
sliver.
great.
But
Which one do
I'm
you
not
want to do?
sure.
Which one do you want to do this time?
It might be a mistake, but let's go with raise 10. See
All
what
right,
happens.
excellent. You rolled high. Let's raise 10. Raise 10, 9%. Fabulous. And you rolled a 91. Great. And he folded.
Awesome.
Life is good. All right. Queen 9 suited. Ooh, this is gonna be cuspy. Queen 10 suited, we're gonna have raises, I think. No, Queen 10 suited? No, this isn't cuspy. I pictured it wrong. This is foldy. Let's just fold it. Fold it. Yeah. I was thinking kings. All right, Mike.
Raise 10, sir.
Yep, no question. Screw that 52% call. This is the solver special. We raise it.
Whoa.
Oh,
How come it does not give us a 4-bet option? Or
yeah,
a 5-bet option? Not that I would. I'm just curious. There's no 5-bet. And there's no shoving here.
yeah, there isn't. So it just says it doesn't want you to overplay it. But
Huh.
in this situation,
Okay, so let's decide here. Is this a callable hand? I mean, it's going to probably mostly fold. I'm just wondering if it has any percentage of continuing. So I'm going to fold.
okay. I think it's gonna have at least a sliver of call, so let's call it to get ourselves in trouble and then trainer. Let's make our lives harder today. No, I just missed it. You were right. Okay. Skate.
I wonder where our 5-bet bluffs come from, just from,
Let's find out. Here we go.
because I'm pretty sure I've studied this, and ace 5 suited is, at least in Wizard, is a 5-bet bluff at a little bit of percentage.
Yeah, yeah. So here we go. What the? It penalized us for the call. And it is a call in Wizard,
In
right?
Peak GTO, you mean?
I mean, in Peak GTO, didn't we hit call and it said screw you? It did, but look,
It did, yes.
I don't know.
okay,
Was it because your RNG didn't match up with the right frequency?
maybe. But it was 63. It was let's see, we'll find it. Ace 5 suited, button versus low jack. We three bet tried to call 4-bet. Drill said we were donkeys. But chart says we were JL. All right.
Where did it say we were penalized?
I thought it, because it didn't let me go on. I thought
Hmm.
it said 0 and then went to the next hand.
Yeah, you're right. It did say 100% fold, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I remember seeing. Right, okay. But either way, Skate, you have the king jack offsuit on the button.
Okay, King Jack offsuit. Even if it was suited, I think it may. Maybe if it was suited, we could call it, but I think this combo we're gonna fold.
Absolutely folding it.
Fold, fold.
The minimum is ace jack offsuit. So king jack offsuit isn't even close. An ace jack offsuit mixes, so that's great. And
Mhm.
king jack suited never folds. You just never fold it there. We'll see how you play it, but it's just never a fold. All right, good. 5-4 suited. Sure. Call and do they do slivers of raising? Maybe they do. I'm gonna call. 54% with a little bit of raising and a little bit of folding. We're do this. Hey, we're betting. All right. Is this with our new heuristic that Mike said, which is when they miss a high frequency C bet, our betting size tends to be large.
Yeah, this isn't this. This is not that situation.
This is not a high frequency C bet. This is
No.
they could check range on this board. So
Yep.
let's just bet small. Now in the land of simple poker coaching, this is a check because this hand is defined as bottom pair, and bottom pair is defined as marginally made. So you're definitely going to check this sum, but its other properties, the flush draw of it, the fact that it's vulnerable, all those things, I think makes a bet okay for the particular hand. So if we were doing an absolute simplified, old style poker coaching strategy, I believe this is a check, but we're not. And there it is. It mixes and it does some big, but we chose the majority size. Yay us. Mike.
All right, these tens here are going to call a lot, and they're going to 3-bet at some frequency. I will call here.
Call 66%. Rocking.
They check. I am going to bet small.
Great. Small, big, and it does some check back, which I would just never do. I'm never going to check that back. All right.
Okay, this is interesting because they should be doing this.
Mhm.
I don't think we ever 3-bet here, so we're going to call. And I would imagine there was a little bit of folding. I was going to say I bet there's some folding going on, and there was just a 3% of it.
Yeah.
What do you do? Check?
You checked?
Jeez. What's our stack to where are we at here? I'm trying to look at stacks. So about 3-1, a little less than 3-1.
Yeah.
So these bet sizes, 10 is a third. Okay. I'm going to check back.
That can't be wrong. 21%. Yeah.
20%.
But it really just loved a small bet.
It did. The B33 was the high frequency.
Yeah. Yeah. It loved the B30.
And they checked again.
Yep.
Dang. This is kind of tough. Sizing wise, it's probably just going to be, like your typical B60. What are these sizes? 18 into 35. So that's like 60. I don't think we go big.
It doesn't give us the option for anything smaller than half pot.
Yeah.
It enforces the mat.
So that's a B50 right there, isn't it?
There's your B50, there's your B60, there's your pot. There's your 2x potish,
I mean, what
bigger than 2x pot.
calls us that's worse? Can we get nine, or did nines take this line? Did eights take that line?
Ace 7.
Getting raised will suck so bad. I'd probably try to get value from population. I bet solver checks this a lot too. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna be total wimp here against the solver, but I would bet it if in population against most people.
Yeah. I would, this seems like a really good time to take a live read. Because the way, I think you can get something about how whether they have a 4, I mean, whether they have the 6. It takes a beat to see a straight, even a 1-card straight. Like,
Yeah, I just don't see 6x being in this range like hardly ever.
right. So, I could see 7-6 doing it this way, but
Yeah.
but
I see overpairs doing this. I
Yeah.
see jacks, queens,
Right.
and kings and aces doing this.
so we check this. I mean, in live, we always check this. We always check this and go, whatever. But in that thing of saying we need to bet for thin value even more, I think this is not terrible. We're going to do the check. I think that this is not terrible. Check. Yeah. There we go.
Yes, against solver, pure check.
I don't even know what it was. Yeah. All right, here we go. Skate.
All right.
Did they show results, by the way? Did they have results?
No.
Like,
They don't show you what his hand was. It's designed. It's just, did you play right?
and did it say, oh, so we didn't even know if we win the hand or lose the
Nope, we
hand?
don't know if we win the hand. This is what we know. We know that our last action was 99% correct.
Gotcha.
That's
So
what it
whether
tells
I'm curious if can we study that spot to see his line, see what he check raises big and then goes check, check?
Sure, we can do that.
Because that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, and when we hit hand result, let's see if we hit hand results, if it shows us what his hand was. No, it just says how we
Yeah,
did it.
villain, ace, jack of spades.
Oh, it does. Oh, there you go. So you can get results there. All right, so that's what he does. There was no value to be gotten on the river.
But I'm still curious what his
Yes,
his
I'm gonna do-
value.
Yeah.
Like if he's doing this with over pairs.
Yeah, we're gonna do that now. All right.
He must be, because if it's a pure check back with tens, then we know he still
Yeah,
has
and
over
he's got to have over pairs in his range. So we got there. Here it is. We want to see, this is what his checking range is. Sliver of aces, blip of kings, hunk of queens, a hunk of burning queens.
And we're on the river right now?
Yeah, this is the river node. This is what he checks.
Yeah.
Then here's all the hands we beat. And there's the ace 7, which makes total sense that he's going to call us with a lot. There's the king 7. And here's his sixes. These are the ones that matter. He gets here with ace 6. And he gets here with 6-6. So those are the ones you're going to get punished with. Now, let's see the bluff. We were going to go 8. He checks. Here's our tens checking pure. We don't raise. We don't bet for value.
Even with queens.
We don't bet over pairs for value here. These jacks you can ignore in that way. So, yeah. You bet a 7. You bet the best 7, but you don't bet the 8s. Why do you think that would be? What's the theory there?
Ace 7. So what are we blocking with an ace, right? We're blocking auto folds.
I think we're blocking aces, right? Is that
We
it?
are blocking aces.
Yeah, but do we just flat aces?
He has
frequency.
He has that many aces. He has that many aces.
Oh, what node were we looking at where the ace 7 bets? Maybe I'm confused.
Oh, this is okay. He checks. We're on the river, and this is us in position.
Yeah,
We don't bet our overpairs,
right.
but we bet ace 7. We bet 7-7, you know, because 7-7 crushes all the overpairs. That's great. We bet our 7-6 straight all the time. We check back a little bit of our 6-6 straight, which is insane, on the theory that he has some that he could have a full house, or he could have 6-8. That seems like the weirdest thing in the world.
So
But we check back none of them.
Ace 7 blocks him having a set.
A7 blocks him from having a full house. No, not a full house. Yeah, full house.
Yeah, yeah, a set of sevens would be a full
Set of
house.
7,
Mhm.
which filled up on the turn. That checked back because it filled out on the turn. Now, does he have? Let's see what he does with, and he checks a 7-7. That's the power thing it does. Yeah. Okay. I got that. That makes sense to me now. Okay. So he checked. Now we're gonna bet, and you want to see where his bluffs are. So when we bet, he comes along, calls with some overpairs, folds with some overpairs, mostly calls. Hates queens. He hates queens. He hates aces. Value raises his full house. Value raises his straight. Value raises his full house. Bluff raises top pair. Turns top pair into a bluff with the 7 blocker. That's the bluff, right? And then looking at this here, and do we have a thing where we can show the, we don't have a filter where we can say, show us the bluffs. But there's your bluffs. Top pair as a bluff. Blocking the most obvious full house. Ace 5 doesn't do it. Blocking the other full house. All right. Skate, you have 8-7 suited.
Okay, I think this is gonna be a good hand to call with. Do we get any 3 bets? Probably not at this stack depth.
Let's see. Calls, it likes raising and folding it. It's that one. But don't worry about the fact that you're wrong about this, because because let's look at the range here. Let's look at the button range at the very beginning of this. Oh yeah, here we go. So it doesn't like 8-7, but it likes 7-6, 6-5, and 5-4. So this is kind of overspecified against your opponents. If you can call 7-6 suited and you choose to call 8-7 suited, you're not wrong. And yeah, they all have some raising in there. So if you ran this solver with the same assumptions, you know, if you still did it with 3 bets, but something in the algorithm is different, you could see the solver saying yes to the 8-7. That's my belief. And I'm sticking with it. Okay. Ace 5. This is going to do some calling, but lots of raising. It is the solver special. We are going to raise it. If we cared about this low number here, this would be a call. I think it's got at least 18% calls. Let's see. Raise. Yeah, 52%.
Is that that's a PeakGTO thing? Because Wizard uses the low numbers as being aggressive.
I don't know. I don't even know which one the peak uses it. Wizard, by the way, you can set it.
Yeah, you can set it, but
low or high
if
is
you
aggressive.
don't do anything to the settings and you just have it on, it
Yeah.
defaults to low being aggressive.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just was guessing. I just said that. So it's going to give us an orange for this instead of a green, but there is no reason to prefer anything that the solver does 52% and 48%. There's no reason to prefer based on this in-game reasons.
Oh no, I exploit the shit out of you if I know you're doing 48% raising.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so exactly. So there you go. If you do this 48 as 100%, that's fine. And if you do this 52 as 100%, that's fine. We're doing it as 100%, but it does get us into this node. So our hand hates this board, hates everything about this board. Our hand has nothing going on. So you could simplify to c-bet, 3-bet, I mean, 3-bet, c-bet, which is not the best strategy which is not a GTO strategy, but maybe against your players in 3-bet pots, they play so straightforward that you can bet right now and get all your answers. But we're playing against a solver. So against a solver, this is a check. Yep. And its bet size that it preferred when it bet was the bigger size. Get me a real answer, right? Is that true? Looking at our little study here, this is the one. Just going to look at the size there that buzzed by too fast. Okay. In this node, oh, okay, I want to be in this node here. When I checked here, my ace-5 of the wrong suit, clubs, mostly bets big when it bets. So it in a sense, you could say, give me a clearer answer. And spades and hearts, you just bet all the time. All right. That all makes sense. We did the call. Now that he bets, now that he goes all in, I fold.
What? There's a little sliver of calling in there.
There was. That's solver noise. That's not anything, I think. All right, Mike, you have pocket 4s.
All right, we know that we can call here.
Yep.
It's going to have some percentage of folding and calling, and we're going to be calling.
We're calling. And we
They
also called
check.
pocket 3s, by the way. The solver didn't call pocket 3s. You and I did.
Right, yeah. They check on this board. I'm going to check back.
Good.
78 versus
And the size
18.
and the size of the bet was the small bet.
Small, yeah.
Yep.
All right, they go like a B33-ish. And our 4s here. This is a call.
All right. I think it's going to do some folding, but 97, it's just calling. It's just
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, we unblock all of their bluffs.
Great.
Is that great? I mean, we're just checking back. That's great.
Great
We don't
to
have to
check.
we don't have to face a decision because
Right.
we're
Great to
only
check.
checking here, I think.
Yeah, we check. And sometimes we, and it doesn't tell us, but we look down here at it because we are results oriented. And 5-5.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, why do we even look? It's not important. All that's important is that you play right. All right, there we go. Skate. I'd give you ace king suited as a Christmas gift.
Yay. And the red kinds. Reminds me of candy canes. Larry, there he is. Okay, we're definitely going to raise. Go to 10.
And he just folded. Good. Larry, you're on the button with king queen suited. The low jack raised you 3 big blinds.
Low jack. I think this is a call.
Maybe some raising. Yep. 9% raising. Good. What you want to do?
I think this check back.
Okay. Your mic sounds terrible, by the way. Welcome back to your terrible sounding mic. You check back.
Does it sound bad now?
No, now it sounds great.
Okay.
There we go. All right. You check back and that's okay. It also
Mixes, huh?
yeah, it mixes most, bets a little bit more.
I think generally once we're gonna take a checking line like this, we just stick with it, a check. He
Half
still
again.
wants to bet.
Yeah.
And we fold.
Yeah, we do. We do. We sadly fold.
Curious about bet sizing on that turn.
Okay.
Because it was like 50-50, and then when we do bet, what do we?
Let's look.
This texture seems really good for us, but we never did
And we put in a
bet
note.
the flop, so
We already put that note in. Okay, good. So here it goes. So you want to see our turn size or our flop size bet?
turn.
All right, turn size bet. When he checks, here we go. This is our range.
So
King-
globally, it's kind of big-ish. Yeah, 60.
60. So it's gonna go when we bet the flop, it's gonna prefer small across range. Just basically doesn't even have the 69 in this range. You can just there's no hand that prefers the 69. So with that in mind, you could simplify this to this is a bet small board, which makes sense. It's a paired board. And lots of paired boards like this. Okay, great.
There's no hand that prefers the 69. There's a joke in there, but I'm gonna leave
There
it.
is.
Yep. Yep.
There is. That's because you don't need your hands for a 69.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you.
My wife is leaving the room. Because of the low quality of the joke, not because of the content.
So
All right,
on
then,
king queen, can you go back to king queen suited here?
Yeah.
On flop, so we don't care if we have the front door,
not really. Yeah, king.
surprisingly.
Yeah, it changes it a tiny bit, but not enough to care about. Likes to bet the club more, but, we also wanted to see, so that's our size on the flop. When we miss the flop, when we choose to check the flop bet, is it gonna move us forward through the tree now and give us the next card? Yes, it does. And now, when low jack checks again, button, our bet size doesn't hate the 25, but it basically moves to the 60. And is there any hand that prefers the 25? Just a quick look in there. Yeah, ace king.
Here's the king queen again real quick.
Yeah, here's our king queen suited.
Okay.
Our king queen suited with the hearts prefers the 25. Is that right? No, no, it prefers
It's kind of the
the
same.
4.5. Yeah. I have a hard time with these colors. All right. Oh, I see. The 10% is the 7.5. And the pot is this. Okay. So we default here to mostly 60% betting. All right. That was Larry. This is me. 8-9 suited. So 8-9 suited is a fold in GTO, in peak GTO here. And we're gonna be calling it, but I don't need to take the loss. In points, we know that. All right, Mike,
Ooh, I got tens again.
got tens.
Should we take a different line this time? We know calling's good.
Mhm.
Let's take the raise 10.
Okay,
The pocket potatoes.
34. And we're perfectly fine the fact that it gave us an orange. We knew better. And he folded. Good. Yay. Skate.
Okay, this is gonna be a fold. Yeah, fold.
Boom. Insta fold. Larry.
This is a fold.
Okay. Peak plays this some, but I don't remember how much. Peak is playing, I think, all of them except the ace 6, the ace 3, and the ace deuce. I think.
This is chippy V, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
let's play it.
Okay. Which one? Call or raise?
Call.
Right. Let's see if I'm right. Calls 45%, raises 55%. Yeah, Peak doesn't like to fold it. That's fine.
Let's see, so we've got two back doors and an over, I think, against this big size. We're pretty indifferent. It's really our flop. That's why he's using a low frequency, bigger size. I think. It's this big size and it's fold.
Yeah. This is an easy continue against small size. We have two backdoors and an over to the 7. That's a half a thing. but
Yeah,
we probably
yeah.
need, we probably need at least 3 full things. But 2 backdoor, yeah, maybe we need 4. Maybe we need direct equity against this size. Fold. Nope, you don't need direct equity. That's enough.
Did it mix?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes your fold, and your
50,
fold was
50.
fine. You folded 40, you folded, it liked to call 50% and folded 47 and then had a tiny bit sliver of raises. So we're fine with your fold. All right. And now Dominic, welcome Dominic. Dominic, you have
Hello.
pocket tens
Hello.
on the button. You are playing against a perfectly GTO opponent. Your opponent plays perfectly. What would you like, a perfect defensive strategy? What would you like to do with pocket tens on the button?
All right. I mean, tens, I think in theory is gonna be mix between 3-bet and call. In
Yep.
practice, I'm just 3-betting this full
Right.
frequency, but not sure what's exact frequencies here. I mean, if all of my opponents are really good, I think calling is perfectly fine too. But I'm gonna raise here.
Excellent. We
Yeah.
agree with you 100%. The solver is going to mix the two. And if you choose a 100% raising strategy here, you will be our friend. There's your raise. It does it. Solver does it 34%. We don't care about that. We're totally comfortable with that violation. Great.
Okay. Now here in practice, I'm just c-betting practically everything on this board against population
Mhm.
for small sizing and then maybe sometimes big. I think solver likes to bet more here on this board with this specific hand. Actually, checking is probably not the worst too. I think it's gonna be check at some frequency. Let's try check, but
Okay, we'll check
I'm
it.
not sure. Yeah, I'm
And
thinking
when you
everything
bet
is
which,
fine.
and when you bet which size did you prefer, the 6.4 or the 15?
Interesting question. Yeah, I'm not sure. No, 15 is too much. 6.4.
Well, let's see. Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Mostly
Okay.
check. Mostly check.
I mean, yeah, then specifically just feels like a check in theory, but a lot of hands can bet here.
Yeah.
Okay, now on a deuce, he checks. So my hand is good here at least 90% of the time. I mean, I can guess. I don't know if 12 is too much to bet. In practice, it's probably not. I don't know. In theory, no, I'm not checking anymore. I think 5.4, just getting some protection against ace and king, maybe. Yeah, 5.4. I'm gonna do, but maybe even can go 12. Don't know if it's too greedy.
Yeah. I don't think 12 is too greedy. Let's find out. Okay.
Mhm.
5.4. Yeah, it's I didn't.
Oh,
The
interesting.
numbers go by
Nice
fast.
check. You didn't
Yeah.
expect that many checks actually.
Yeah.
He calls, and then yeah, I don't think on this specific river we can get any value really from any worse hands. So I'm just checking. I think this is very obvious.
Right. Great. So let's look at that one thing. Let's look at that size
Yeah,
on
turn is interesting. Turn is interesting. I don't know exactly what is that.
Yeah. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Stopping on the, it goes all the way to the hand complete. All right. So we want to look at our turn size. That's this node right here. With our pocket tens, it just loves the check back. It doesn't want to bet anything. And when it does, that bet size is your size, the size you talked about, not the size that I was thinking. 12.9, not like. But it's basically just a pure check back there. Right. And the flop, when you bet it, your flop node, where your tens bet a lot more, is the small size. Right?
No, you're
I'm on the river.
You're pre-flop right now.
Oh, I'm pre-flop. Screw me. Sorry. Let's go forward. Okay, so we raised. And it's
Well,
gonna
that was the low jack 4 betting.
yeah. Okay, so we
Okay,
are
the
the
low jack
we raise.
called. No,
We
there's the
raise.
big blind. That's the big blind four betting.
He
So you
called.
want
This is what happened.
no.
No,
Yeah.
stop it.
Fold.
Fold.
There you go. Fold the big blind and then
No,
call the
no,
low
no,
jack.
No,
no,
no, no, no,
No, stop,
no.
stop.
no, fold, fold. Just fold.
Now
Low
call.
jack call.
There it is.
There we go. I can't blame this on PeakGTO. I can only blame this on myself. All right, here we go. It's only the small size when you bet. And you only bet it with a heart. That makes sense. We had a heart. Great. Well played, Dominic. And up next is me. I shall butcher the next hand. Right. Fold. I got it this one right. Mike.
We are gonna 3-bet this.
All right. Look at that, 84. 3-bet, 77%. Nice. And he just folded. And then skate. You got the same hand. What would you like to do with this same hand?
I think fold, right? Same.
3-bet. Oh no, king 9. It was the wrong one. No, king 9. King
Same
9.
hand.
Yeah, king 9.
Okay.
3-bet.
I honestly didn't even see because I'm doing something here. It
I'll
was
give
three
you a
bet.
hint. 3-bet.
Okay, 3-bet. Let's go.
Yeah, we saw that. It was the same as the last hand.
But like, is that should be the bottom right of the kings? So has to be
Yes,
right.
it is.
King. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is your
Just
pre
to.
low jack raises. This is the node. Here we go.
So we're always against the hijack
Well,
here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean the low jack.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we're doing as an exercise. So there it is. It's the bottom of it, and it likes to do it as a 3-bet. As it move up, it allows you to call until you get to real quality.
I just noticed something.
That's-
Stay here, Scotty.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing this raise size is 2.3, and in the trainer, it's a 3x.
Yeah,
Monkeys. Monkeys. Look at that. Monkeys under the bed.
What's this deal there?
That's a mistake. All right, let us take a picture of that. Take a note. Good eye, good eye. Study shows 2.3x in 3x trainer and sim. Let's see just quickly, does it do that on the other ones? Has it been doing this the whole time?
There's 2.2.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
it's doing all kinds of weird numbers here on our pre-flop sizing.
so
Here's
there's 3.
3. Yeah. Oh my. All right, that's a 3. Those are 3s, but here, that's a 2.2. Oh wait, we're not in pre-flop.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. But this one we are. This one we are. It's only in this one. And let's copy that list right there. All right, good. And up next is King Queen off. And that is Larry. Larry,
I think we get to 3-bet this at some frequency.
how about this frequency?
Well,
How about that frequency? Dominic, you have the same 10s you had before.
All right. Let's just raise again to have the similar
I like it.
situation.
Yep, we said we were raising 100%. Ooh, this time. we got-
All right. I mean, I think GTO just calls stance basically, but yeah, I'm probably folding. Or does it?
It mixes some folds there.
Mixes some folds.
50-50.
It mixed.
All right. Yeah, I'm just folding that in practice 100% pretty much. But yeah, in here we can.
Against the live
yeah.
opponents that I'm playing against. That's
Yeah, yeah.
But here you are.
Right, and then he checks. That's interesting. All right, I think just check against solver. He still can have a lot of
70%.
stuff.
No ace, no king. No ace, no king. That's not an ace.
Okay. Now he has maybe, I don't know what he gets here with. Does he play maybe ace king like this? I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. So let's say, I think we can just try to get 2 streets. Like, how do we get it in? I think 29 is gonna get too many folds, or hand is too strong, and then 12 maybe. Let's go 12. Let's
Yeah.
go 12.
Right. So if we, so 2E here, just to get this at, we've got
Something in
basically just
between
over a
12
pot
and
size
29.
bet. If we bet 29, then we're half
Too
pot,
much. That's
approximately half
yeah.
pot. That'll put 50 in there and then it'll leave us with, no, actually 29 is about 2E. So this is your smooth, this is your small bet followed by a big bet.
Actually, there are some rivers we don't want to do. Let's go 29. I changed my mind. Let's go 29, even with 10 Smith. I
2E.
don't know.
2E, it likes the small bet.
Okay.
The guy folded.
All
All right.
right.
Cool. And that's, we'll do another round of this and then we'll move on to marked hands or something. All right. Ace 6 suited. I think this is the one that it folds. I think it folds the ace 6 and the ace 7 and plays the ace 8.
Sure.
Yeah, it folds it. If you've played it, I'm fine with it. Mike.
Yeah, this is we can call this one.
Curious, are we folding any like deuces and threes?
We are,
The
so
charts say to fold them, but
this is our chart here back in pre-flop land. It mixes, fives a little bit of folds and fours a little bit of calls. And we've decided after watching a Carrot Corner video that was just released that we're just gonna call all these fives and fours, and we might even call threes.
to population, to
Population,
Yeah.
not to solve it.
Okay.
And the argument is that in a configuration where you have the advantage post flop just naturally, not that you're a better player, you're in position post flop, that you are going to not that the solver over realizes its equity post flop, just like anyone does. And so therefore that's what allows it to play fours here. Even if fours were a 0 EV, it gets to recognize it. He says that our opponents play so much worse out of position compared to the solver out of position that we will over-realize our equity even more, even without a skill edge. Just as long as, if we are as good as our opponents, but neither of us is as good as a solver, that we over-realize in position even more than the solver accounts for, making these fives and fours a massively profitable call and probably even threes. If you then add the fact that we are here studying at all, I mean, just at all, that's going to push you with some advantage over 50%, 75% of your opponents. And so now these become a slam dunk. So that's his argument. And I think that there's a lot of merit in it.
Okay.
And he's also going to say the same thing in this configuration. We're going to get a cutoff raise. We are on the button. And, these threes, absolutely. This 5-4 and 6-4, just all of these play. The 8-7, just play all of these. You don't need to fold any of these, he says, against your opponents there. And you can 3-bet this 100% of the time and be fine. And then another example is on the button. This ace 3 offsuit here, 100%. This ace deuce offsuit here, 100% raise. The ace deuce offsuit is a profitable raise against our opponents from the button. And the queen deuce, easy.
Who's
No
making the argument that we should expand?
Peter, your boyfriend,
Peter
Peter
Clark.
Peter Clark.
That's
Yeah.
for a life partner.
Yeah, Peter Clark, or maybe your stocky, whatever you want to call it. I don't know that it's mutual yet. Remember, the difference between romance and stalking is, can change after the fact.
Very fine line there, so.
He
There are a lot of them.
refers to these spots as hot spots.
Right. Yes, hotspots, exactly. That's what the video was on, hotspots. And then we're going to watch the video on cold spots when he releases it, or if it's already out there, that says all the ones that the solver says you can call that you can't, that you're going to under realize. And I'd like to just take back everything I said earlier. I was trying to make a joke that completely failed. I do not want this to be part of the manosphere. Even though we
Like-
are primarily male in this
Yeah.
thing. Okay,
I
so
kind
there's
of
our
picked,
Peter
I
Clark
picked up
thing.
on that.
Yeah, there's my Peter Clark speech. Or my understanding of it. And I think that there's a lot of merit in that. Having looked at how our opponents are playing online in our reviews, and having watched how they played live at our stakes, and our stakes go up to, 50 cent a dollar online, $1, $2 online, and $5, $10 live is still this stuff. All right, back to the trainer and no more speeches. Here's your pocket fives, and
What did we do? We called, right?
we called.
Yep. And then he checks.
Yeah.
This is kind of he's gonna be checking a lot, I would imagine, or betting small a lot. Do we start doing anything with these fives with a spade? I say no. I say check.
Right. There's got to be some sliver of the small bet, but yeah, check seems logical. Check. Sliver, oh, both sides of bets.
Oh, there
But
was some
check was
large sizes in there.
I did see it. Yep. Check was preferred.
And he checks again. We get our 5-high flush. No reason to bet. I don't think there's any reason to bet here. So
Yeah.
I'm checking.
Yeah. If we, this, and I look at this as when we have the best hand, we can bet it on the river. We only get one street.
Yeah.
If we get two streets, we're beat. So it goes for the street there. And it didn't, and this is the one, and even this isn't bad. This is not bad. Great.
Yeah. I mean, either we were winning before or not anyway.
Let's,
Um,
I love this card.
But
did
he's-
you love it for value?
I want to bet.
Yeah, I think you need
Yeah,
to bet
because
for
he's going to call
value.
for a chop. I want to bet. See, it's your hand. Do whatever you want, Mike. I want to bet.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I kind of missed that.
the person who has a
So
spade
then
wins.
if you want to bet, then you want to bet small, but is this giving us an option? That's a 50, that's a B50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
B50.
Even if the solver doesn't approve of it, I think this is a good bet. Solver goes bigger. Solver loves it if he goes bigger. He wants to include that in the range where you have a better spade. All right. Skate, you have pocket tens on the button.
All right, this is like the fourth time we've seen tens. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna mix between call and raise.
Yep.
I'm going to call this time.
Right. It calls more than it raises in the solver, but we don't care about that difference. All we care about is you chose to call this time.
Okay, we're gonna continue with let's see, we do have a club. Can we go? We have to go. Yeah, let's go standard 2.2.
I like it. I think the 5.2 is ruled out because the straight is available on the board. And we both have 4-5 in our range. So.
Okay.
50, it does it 15% of the big one, but it prefers the small. Good. He called.
Okay, I see no reason to slow down here. Let's now that draws. We have some draws added, but we blocked those, so
Mhm.
I don't know. You know what? Let's go 11.9.
Oh, yeah. Full pot. I don't care if the solver does it. I respect you for going for it. 1.3. It the right idea, but it only went to 7.
Okay.
It can't be wrong.
Now, I mean, wouldn't they? I mean, okay, it's solvers, so they can check their flushes, right? So yeah, we are I think checking back is probably a good idea against solver. Against population, I'm gonna bet if they.
And what size are you gonna bet if they check against population?
You're not gonna go too like 17.9 maybe.
Half pot, and then when they raise, you fold? Or do you call with a 10 of clubs?
Depends on my opponent, but rivers are under bluff, so I'm most likely folding.
Okay. How about if your opponent is me
Well,
and I check raise you?
check raise me. I don't know about your. I mean, I haven't seen many check raises from you, like on the river. I mean, I'm not really sure to be honest about that question. But if it's you, I think you're a thinking player, so I will think twice about it. About fold.
Yeah, you should totally fold against me.
Oh, okay,
then-
yeah,
I'm not gonna check raise bluff you there.
true. Then yeah,
I'm gonna-
fold.
I'm gonna bluff. If you check to me, I'm gonna stab with something. I'm not check raise bluffing either.
There you go.
Right. You check behind, it wants to bet. Let's look at that. That's worth studying. Because we all approved of that river and it didn't. All right. All right, so here you are. And you get here very thin because of your turn size. It didn't love your turn size. And so that's why you're thin here. And it just says pile with a club, check without it. And we knew that it preferred the club. We just didn't know how extreme it was.
Yeah, because it's blocking the flush completing, right? Or the river.
Yep,
Okay.
block the flush. That's enough. That's enough to do it.
Yeah.
And we all agree with this. The 9 doesn't even need the club. Because the 9 blocks the 9-10 and the 5-9. It doesn't have 5-9. Why does the 9? Why do we love the 9 so much?
I
'Cause it
think
gets-
because I think from the top of my head, I'm not sure, but maybe it's blocks their
Nine,
turn
eight.
continues.
It blocks 9-8.
Yeah, blocks nine.
Blocks. Oh, 9-8. There you go.
That's why.
9-8, 9-10.
Yeah. Yeah, we block 9-10 here, but you block 9-8, and 9-8 is one of the big beats. Super value. Bluff. Kinda. The 5s is a bluff.
5 is a bluff. I mean, you can double check by looking at equity, but.
It's a
5 is
funny
bluff.
kind of bluff. It's a bluff. You're bluffing with the best hand a lot here, but yeah, but these are your bluffs, and they block the flopped straight. A straight's not good enough anymore, and even a 5-4 of clubs flush is not good enough to bet. How's that for surprise? A queen high flush, it won't bet?
Why? Because like, can they be trapping any full houses on the river solver?
They
Is
can
that
be
why?
trapping full houses, they can be trapping bigger flushes.
That's why are these tens and jacks are doing this because they're bluffing, right?
They're not bluffing. It's weird.
Well, then why isn't Queens doing it?
I mean, if we
Because
see,
shut up? I don't
if we see
know.
blocker quotients, we don't understand. Would have to do with interactivity with the, it also might be because we're in a, less solved part of the tree.
Let's
Because
look at, let's change our buttons. Let's change this to the preferred size here. And get a more robust answer. But here, Mike, so it could be that they have value and they have the double blocker property of blocking the 10 jack straight and blocking the flush. The queens don't block the 10 jack straight. So while the 10 queens beat the jacks, you're less concerned about that. They're all kind of the equivalent hand in terms of winning at showdown, but one doesn't run into it as much.
But if we're overbetting like 3x pot here on the river on a flush completer and we have a pair of tens, that I mean, we're just, that's just a bluff. Like, we're not getting called by worse. Like is,
Okay.
I
We'll
mean,
get,
that's my guess, but like Dominic thinks that maybe a7 can call, or
that wasn't was that 3x pot? No, because we made a big bet.
I thought it was I thought it was all in.
It was all in, but the pot was big.
It was, what was the pot?
Maybe I'm wrong. Let's go back and let's look at this. So our size was, we did it's here on the turn. So we bet small, he called. We get the 8 of hearts, he checks. We bet,
So yeah, the pot's 12 big blinds and we're jamming like all in for,
no, but this is not before the river. Remember, we bet 11. We bet 11 and he called.
so
He
pot's
checked.
35 and we go like a 3x,
The pot
two and a
is,
half X. Yeah, it's an
I know
over.
it's-
yeah, these are jams. These are 2x pot jams. I didn't even recognize that. But that's sort of our size. It really just, it's really doing, I mean, this is a small percentage of the tree. It's like this. So you said, let's take a look at the EV of these and try to see if that tells us what, strategy plus EV. That'll tell us. That'll give us the number of whether this is a bluff or not, right? The EV is 12. Is that the number you were looking at? So this isn't a bluff, is it? Or are you on our equity? Our equity in the pot. Is that the number that does it? Yeah, this is below 50, so I guess that means it's a bluff. Is that right?
Larry, you're good at this kind of thing.
I'm not sure.
Remember that thing that you did where you were saying that I'm thinking it was when the equity in the pot is less than 50% and you bet, then you're bluffing.
Yeah, I think 50% is considered to be the line.
Right. So the queens are at 54, their value calling. So I guess technically these are bluffs. Quads are not a bluff. Nines. Yeah. Good eye.
6 or 8.
If they're red, it's a bluff.
8 is
Yeah.
74%.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
said these,
50% is the line, I think.
we said these were bluffs. And these are, I mean, these are that. So here, let's look at, I think if we do this, if we click on this button, it will just show us those ones. Is that true? Show us the checks. No, it's not. In this mode, it doesn't show us that.
Okay. Well,
So we wanted to see strategy plus equity, but we didn't. Okay. So yeah, I didn't think of these as bluffs, but they are. And they're bluffs that in real life might get called by a 7. You might get looked up by a 7 here,
okay.
but All right. Was there anything else on? Oh yeah, we wanted to look at now when you do how this changes when you bet the size that it liked, which was this node here. This node, when we bet our 10s, the size that it liked was 7.1. Take the size that it likes, 7.1. Low jack calls. We get our 8 of clubs on the river. He checks range, and that's the important thing here. So he's checking all his houses and all his flushes. You said, and that's not our opponents. All right. And now, at that size, we don't do any of these bluffs.
Yeah.
And we don't bluff these. So our value here, full house, full house, full house. Bluff, bluff, bluff. Nuts, 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 nuts. I mean, other than full houses, you know, nut flushes. Trips.
Those are bluffs.
Those are bluffs.
7x is bluff, the A7.
7x is a bluff. That's a pair turned into a bluff that blocks the 8-7 full house. And the clubs is not exactly a bluff. And the ace-3 of clubs that we're showing this is because we just never get here with the ace-3 of clubs. Oh, because there is no ace-3 of clubs. Aha. Maybe they weren't wrong. Even though it shows the ace-3 of clubs here that we don't have, do this. It's an error in the solve, but it's an error in this mode. We can't have ace-3 of clubs, but it shows it when you do the full height. So that error there comes in full height mode. There we go. Fun, fun, fun. Moving on. King 9, block, just a 9 blocker bluff. Pure 9 blocker bluff. Jack 9, 9 blocker bluff. Jack 10, 10 blocker. Yeah, so it's going for it with these. And a straight is not enough.
On a flush
Bet.
paired board.
Straight is not enough on a flush board with a pair. It's the nut flushes that do it. The king high flush does it. The king high flush never checks back. The queen high flush never checks back. Jack high flush doesn't. 10 high flush does. Five, 4 doesn't. Because it doesn't. There's the same bug with the 6-7. You can't have these hands. All right. Last round of the trainer is, whose hand was that last one? Anybody remember? The 10-10. It was, I think it was Skate.
Yeah, yeah, it was me.
Skate. Okay, Larry.
Yeah, I've seen this before. We think we can mix with this. I think we call.
I think this one mostly raises in this particular solver, but both make sense. You call. Yeah, mostly raises, but it's an unimportant mostly.
They check. We've got 2 back doors and over. And the flop's good for us. Yeah, let's take the small bet.
Great.
Mixes.
Yep, and he folded. Dominic, last hand. You got pocket 9s.
Okay. I mean, call is probably even more than 10 now, but again, I'm mostly just rebetting this. But let's call one. Well,
Okay.
it's a low jack, you know. Let's go with 9s.
Yep.
Oh, it
Yeah,
even
it
raises
doesn't like
nothing.
this at all.
Yeah. All right.
There's your line.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I think 9s again on this board wants to bet big. Like I'm 5.2 like standard.
Yep. And I'm gonna make the guess that it doesn't do the big very much because the 4-5 straight is out there. But let's find out.
No, I don't think so.
21,
Or
50.
maybe
It
you're right.
doesn't
All
enough.
right.
You know.
Nah, I mean, don't think they are gonna have that in practice. Just we need a lot of protection against overcards with 9s. I think just in practice, just big bet, big bet, and then king is good for a range. I think solvers may even bet small here because it's a good card, but I'm just checking.
I'm gonna check too here. Yep, it's a check.
It's a
He
check.
stuck around with his ace king.
And then mm, yeah, I think half pot is still shouldn't be too greedy.
Okay. We're gonna
Let's
hit it.
try
I
this.
believe, I
In
believe you need,
practice, I like it. In practice, I don't mind. And it's
believe in
probably gonna be
solver.
more check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go on. In solver land, I believe you need the 9 of diamonds to do this. Let's see.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so let's see if that's true.
Yeah, you're right. I think I wasn't even thinking about it.
And then my last question is gonna be to everybody in the group. If it's true that you need the 9 of diamonds to do this in solver land, do we think that that applies to our real opponents in our real game?
Yeah, good question. I think generally no. I think that there's gonna be a lot of daunting that goes on with humans. Top of range with flushes.
Yeah, but I think those kind of blockers, I mean, we talk about how they don't really apply too much to the opponents we're playing at the stakes we're playing, but I feel like the flush blockers are more significant than a lot of the other ones that get brought up because that does eliminate, some value hands that they get here with.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
It seems to eliminate more of a bigger percentage type. Like it seems a more significant blocker than trying to think of another example, but
So in this case, it just doesn't think that any under pair is enough. And a king is good enough. And if you have the king with the queen of diamonds, it's a mandatory bet with the queen of diamonds, and you can check back without. But none of us are going to check the king. None of us are going to check the king queen here on the river ever, right? Oh, maybe. No, I'll get the diamond completes on the river. Yeah, we can check. Yeah. This seems sensible to me. Bet with the king, bet with the queen of diamonds, check without the queen of diamonds. On this king. And we have no other offsuit kings to even think about that got here. And what do you think of that? You get here with your king queen. You have the best hand all the time. Do you bet it on the river when this 8 comes in? This is my question to the group in real time.
Yeah, I think you need the dime. All those are done. I don't think so. Maybe it's the queen of diamond.
Yeah, I think that this is worth implementing, that you bet with the queen of diamonds and you check without it. Because it not only brought in the diamond, it also brought in a straight.
Yeah.
And it brought in a stubborn 2 pair of 7-8. I think that's sensible.
yeah, that's why we see king 10 betting almost pure as opposed to king queen because the 10 blocks straights.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So in that idea where people say that blockers don't matter at low stakes, I think that this is sensible. This do your king 8, it's not doing king 9. The king 10 has the blocker, even though this blocks the straight also. It's not doing it maybe because the 9 is actually too low. So
Yeah.
that's the trade-off there. And I think it's a good one. I think it is. I think this is where I think this level of blocking matters, and I think it matters even at our stakes, I think. Prove me wrong. Okay. Mark Tans?